Okay, I believe it is working. Welcome everyone. I had some issues with my internet, but I think it's back. Thanks God. So hopefully you can stream. Hmm. It really blacked out for a second, a couple of minutes, so that was pretty scary. It's just now. Anyway, let's get started. So I have my reference up in my other screen. So we will design, we'll try to design a monster out of the studies we did yesterday. Make sure I can see the chat here. Okay. So I'm going to use more or less the same settings as I used yesterday. Hopefully today Photoshop will cooperate. Now, these are studies we worked on yesterday. I'm not going to reuse the same images, but I'm going to keep them in mind. I'm going to keep this on one side. Okay, so I don't really have anything specific in my head right now, but I want, so the monster needs to face this direction. It could be the other too. I'm just gonna flip it eventually. So let's see. What I'm gonna do first is start with some simple generic shapes. And it's gonna be very loose for now. Now the good thing about Starfish is that they are very forgiving. It's not going to be super complicated to make. This is going to take way less than the octopus did. You can have a small mouth or something, like teeth here. I'm going to keep them very, very generic for now. It's just going to be random shapes, and by looking at them later, I will hopefully have some kind of idea about what I want them to be. Just going to go extremely random first. It's almost like watching the clouds and imagining something. I usually either do this or just start drawing something, but I found that this way I come up with a little more interesting designs. You might be thinking, oh, but that octopus, that's just an octopus. That's true. But the others were a little better in terms of design. I just like the shape of that, so I decided to go with that. With the plant, though. What if it's like that weird anime-ish gun with all those things around? Something like this. You could be able to see the center then. Again, really, really generic shapes. This is especially true for something that has a more specific structure. Like, okay, you know, if you're designing a horse monster, you do not want to start with horse anatomy. You have to study horse anatomy beforehand, like we did with the Starfish a little bit yesterday, but I do not recommend starting with an actual horse because that's almost guaranteed failure. It's just gonna look too much like a horse. Kind of like my octopus looks like an octopus because I ended up studying too many octopi. So something. It's out of the way so I can see the other references. Some spikes of some kind. And the very beginning, the very first sketches are usually going to be pretty boring. Do you find something that's actually interesting? Hey Chase, what's up? Never drawn a good horse. It's not as easy as it seems. Horses are not easy to draw. Actually, I am thinking about when it gets settled down with the schedule a little bit, having thematic weeks, maybe 2 weeks in a row, something like that, and starting maybe with horse anatomy. So we would do like a horse creature for the first 2 weeks. So horse anatomy in the first few days, then design the creature and maybe rendering. Not sure because that's a pretty boring thing to stream. But definitely, I definitely want to do the animal slash creature anatomy thing. Okay, this is not too bad. Percent Starfish. It's not reduce the number of limbs. This can be rotated as well. At some point, I'm gonna mix them as well. Probably gonna put one on top of the other. Top right wine is kind of creepy at the like a starfish and ship walking. This, yeah. Oh well, that could be an idea. It could be an idea. It could be like walking, sort of like that. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna leave it there, even if I change it a little bit. I'm gonna work in this. Could be something more. This could always the. Obviously, it's gonna be more detailed at some point. Just need to be. So you can have obviously squishing here. Like if it's walking, it would be squishing a tiny, tiny bit. You could have an eye in the middle. let's add the eye for now. You could add more of that. So from D&D or Zelda. I'm not familiar with the sorry, Wallmaster. I'm not familiar with this monster. Actually, I was looking for if you have some knowledge of it. I was looking for descriptions of D&D monsters, just the descriptions, because I would like to draw some at some point. I had not here, but in Japan, I had the one of the monster guides, but I don't have any more. And I'm not even sure it had descriptions in it, like physical appearance, you know. This one could be better if it had bigger limbs, probably. Let's see, I use the liquify tool a lot when I work on designs. It's really useful, like you see here, like this way. I can actually stretch out things without breaking the shape too much. This is not too bad. This is like what's it called? That I forgot his name from SpongeBob. It's too much of a star. It's like a star and a stick. So probably most of these designs are going to be trash. Oh, Patrick, that's his name. I wanted to face that direction. And I've got in my other screen, you can't see it because it's hooked to the window, so I cannot really move it. But I have a good number of images of starfish monsters from games and movies and stuff. And I will figure out how to add a picture-in-picture window at some point. Not today. Um, yeah, that could be a good quote. Oh, I could have tentacles maybe coming out of it. Maybe something like that. And I could have spikes all around. This almost looks like a dead person with some sort of xenomorph sort of thing with tentacles coming out of its body. Hers. Let's do. I'm not a big fan of streaky things, honestly. So even with this one, I'll probably go for something like this because I don't like things that are too stringy. It's getting so hot here. Too hot for my likes. I hope I don't have any issue with electricity today. Because yesterday it was about to. I'm not sure what happened, but it did. Okay, maybe we can revisit the eye idea with the many eyes. Face rates, the tentacles one is interesting, like those zombie animals taken over by parasites. Yeah, right. It reminds me of something that's being taken over by something else. But I don't know if that's what I want to go for. Because I've got a lot of tentacle-ish. Well, a lot of. I've got two. I've got the jellyfish and the octopus. So I don't know. I think this one should be a little more consistent. As I said, sometimes I start with lines. Sometimes I use a silhouette. Really depends on what I'm thinking about. This would be. This is just no. This sucks. Oh, we're not making this back now, right? I was about to say that. I was about to say there are way too many tentacles here. It's starting to sound a little. Maybe it's a little too Japanese at this point. So let's dial back a little bit. Let's make it a little more user friendly, more kid friendly. Uh, you know what? I'm going to try to manipulate this one. Let's see. What if I? The overall shape is just a star, so no, it's too much. Wait, what if I? I don't want to trash it completely. Let's see if we can put it together with something else. Not yet. Okay, could we? Maybe okay. Maybe this is not an eye. Maybe it's some things, little bulbing things. Um, let's start with a circular shape. Then maybe it has spike, two spikes. What if it has four spikes? I mean, four is okay. Let's not start. It's just like a falling man. Maybe you don't see that. Maybe it needs to have something in the back like that. It's got one, two, three, four. Let's get some other in the back. This can be a little bigger with this sort of thing in the middle. And the eyes, it's gonna look a little biblical with this. Let's put some eyes here and see how it looks. Actually, I'm always thinking about the three-dimensional aspect, so I do want to remember what I studied yesterday. So the actual shape these things have, because it's like if you take a star, like a normal star, this thing is like thick, right? Is something like this. So it's gotta look like it's got some shaded areas, possibly, and some light areas, right? Something like that. So this part is actually going to be a top. This is going to be a valley. The eye could be staring like this, but I feel like this sort of eye looks a little too much like a Western type of monster. I want this to feel like it's part of a JRPG eventually. This looks dumb more than interesting. Okay, what if I... Okay, what if I add... Oh, this is better. Some octopus-like eyes. Or frog. Or boat. Something's here. That's kind of creepy. Uh, this looks more like a jester's hat with the bells. So definitely not. Well, it's always a push and pull. Try something, toss it, try something else. How about this? What if it's got more eyes? Not a big fan of this thing. I think it needs something a little different here. Let's see. Take the shape. There's that. So that's not going to be there. It's going to have this, this maybe. Way. And this is going to be in the back. It's still not going to be visible, so oh, something like this. Some squished. Huh. Okay, this is promising. This is kind of promising. I could still have a mouth here. There. This is not bad. I'm starting to dig it. This should be in front. This should be in the front. It should be in the front. And this should be in the back like before. Eyes, they look kind of decent like this. Something. Some more rails, maybe something like that. Okay, this is not a bad one. This at least. It's stay even without that thing. Thinking, I'm just sort of mashing them together. This is too much of a starfish. Maybe if I mix it with something else. Are you weird? Picture here. Let's see if I can copy it. Paste it in here. Hey, what's up, Bob? It's been a while. So I've got this weird. This is a star. I think this is a real starfish, and it looks really weird. It looks like a dinosaur sort of thing. So I'm thinking maybe I can keep one of the uh, pointed ends of the creature as a head. And I have this up on my screen, so in my other screen, so maybe something. This is obviously it's gonna look a little more monster with limbs at that point, but maybe something like that. So I could add that different something like that. Be all the spikes. Thanks for joining, Bob. How are you doing, man? Yeah, I definitely want something like this. So I want this above and below effect so that this Maybe this is all covered in spikes or something, or small tentacles to keep it Japanese. It could still have eyes, or maybe this one can have an eye in the middle. Stuff. This is by far the funniest part for me. This is when I really have fun because it's not hard work. It's just drawing whatever you want. It doesn't even have to look good at this point. It's just okay. Let's think about something that's cool or dumb, depending on what you're actually doing. And it's fun. Yeah, this part is definitely fun. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And another one somewhere. Okay, I can revise that. But I want that kind of effect where it feels like it's kind of an octopus tentacle, except it's round. It's like has got this sort of cross section. Maybe something like this. So triangular at the top, rounded at the bottom with some things. I don't want it to look like an octopus, but something that ballpark. Maybe you can do something to this, mixing it with that. It's always this sort of process where you try something and then you find it interesting and you try to mix it up with the previous designs. Do multiply this. Is it going to? It's not. Stop reset. Were you leaning towards more of a floating design or a terrestrial? Floating. Definitely floating. Oh, this is not bad. Wait a second. I'm gonna keep this one. This thing? This is not bad. Although it was a complete accident. Yeah, I might go for the banana peel, I think. I don't want it to be symmetrical, so it's maybe it doesn't work in that form. This one is not. But yeah, I definitely want it to be floaty. So I like the idea of the thing walking. It could be sit at the bottom of the sea, but I'm thinking these are probably going to be used for off a ship type of environment, which could, I mean, accept some walking creatures, definitely. I've got so many ideas actually because I've been playing on and off Final Fantasy V, and and I've been wanting to just draw monsters. I'm just severely slowed down by my workflow. Um, this could be just a simple, stupid starfish that sits there and does nothing apart from attacking with some sparks or something. That would be. Yeah, I was thinking of whether it would be something you fight while on a ship or something walking along the beach. It could be both. I try not to fixate too much when I'm in this phase because if I find something that works for a thing I did not think about before, then I'm still going to use it. But if I have a precise idea, then it's like hindering creativity a little bit. Although you should limit yourself, obviously, at some point because it can't be anything. This just, for now, it's okay just being a starfish. This is a starfish, a normal starfish. And it could be like that too. It could be. I'm probably gonna make it float though. It's not very threatening. Just having pretty much dead starfish lying there. Or just a star. It could be made of rock too. There could be, there are endless possibilities really. If it's got some rocks, it doesn't have to be 100% animal. It can have other stuff. It could have a jar or a broken piece of something around it. It could be coming out of something like treasure chest. But that already makes it a little more complicated than I want it to be. Because this one really needs to be one of the crappiest monsters of the batch. I usually try to make some crappy monsters you can use a lot, and some bigger ones. Like the octopus, that's pretty large, so you're probably not going to have tons of those. You're like fighting tons of those together. Different like dying, dying thing I did before. Just not. Starfish is more of a mook monster. Yeah, it's just a starfish. I cannot imagine someone saying, "Oh, I went fighting a starfish today. It's so hard." A starfish. Probably not. Depends on the starfish. Obviously, you can make an incredibly powerful starfish, like the kaiju starfish. The floating ones are cool though. I feel like they open up fire beams or something. Yeah, or I'm thinking electricity for now. But again, that's not something I decide. It's this is just a monster. Then obviously people assign the type and moves as they see fit. This is not bad either. If I can fix the perspective on this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should I put it here? Maybe it's got these sort of eyes. I've got another one that kind of looks like this, so like another one in the reference pictures. It's walking on a beach, and it's really creepy. Let me actually copy it so you guys can see it. Something like that. It's very gross. I think it is like trying to move. I'm not sure that. I guess they move. I might be saying something completely stupid, but it looks like it does. I'm not sure if all of them move. You should really get more familiar with stuff before you experiment. Like beyond the physical appearance. Just be saying something extremely dumb. Okay, I think I've got enough of these. I'm gonna try to modify them a little bit. See if I can make them look decent. What if I duplicate this one and I multiply? Oh, it already is. Yeah, I could also have that thing on the top. Something like that. They could have 1 and 2. They could be right, something like this, maybe. So it kind of, it's got this sort of, I don't know how to call it. It's like a secondary mouth coming out and shooting forward. That's a thumbnail for a video. You should watch it. It's even creepier when you see it move. Oh, is it? I just found it on Pinterest, I believe. Oh, that's not too bad. Can I modify? Oops. Did not save it. Oh, okay. This is really bad. I'm gonna restart my Google Drive because otherwise I cannot save this. And if this crashes, that's a big problem. I'm gonna lose everything. All right. So you guys probably gonna, it might slow down my stream just a little bit. Hopefully not. I just cannot avoid it because I on Windows 11, as I think I said in one of the previous streams, you do not have your Google Drive stuff locally. So if you're not connected to the internet and Google Drive is not running, you can't access it. So now I should be able to save it. Okay. Keep up these. Oops. Give it another round. Just rotate it. Move some of these around though, and see if they can. I'm going to duplicate the layer and flip it horizontal. So they're going to have a different look. The print screen of your canvas. Oh, thanks. No, I saved now, so it should be good. Yeah, I hope there's a setting I can change so that I can keep my files locally as well. I would rather have a little more space in a backup copy than None. Got an idea for this. Let me see. Maybe, just maybe. So my idea was to have these to be like a little bit. I know it's all tentacles, but this could be a shelly fish sort of thing. It's smart how you use the liquefy tool to manipulate the designs. Thank you. I picked it up from Trent Kanuga. He also does that. I thought it was pretty effective and time savers. Or it could, oh, something like that. Okay, let's make it a little more interesting now. I could. There you go. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. All right. Just a little bit. Okay, these are in the back. It's in the front. This is not bad. I'm not sure I want the spikes. Probably not this one. Maybe it can be embedded in the other shape. It's not bad. This one. I like this. It's kind of ghostly. It's got a big spike in the back. This is for a tail. It's got 1, 2, 3, just 4 points, but I kind of like how it looks. And this could have more stuff. We could have the eye in the middle now. I don't know if I want the eye. I actually want this to feel. Maybe I can add 2. Oh yeah, something like that. Some antennas or antennae. Maybe even longer. You have something. No, just one is better. I don't know. I quite like this. It's simple, but hey, welcome, student 17. Welcome back. How have you been? No, I like that. I'm gonna save that. This. Let's see if we can do something for this one. This one is more like a plant. It's a little too boring. Doing great. Actually, just finished all my schoolwork. School. Hmm. I could rotate this thing. If I rotate it, this is not as intimidating as the other is. No, I don't like it. I think it looks better just by making them longer. Makes sense. Oh, maybe it has something in the middle. Makes sense. Yeah, it could be something different. It could be something like that. Oh, this looks like this could potentially be like Kang and Kodos from The Simpsons, potentially. So I don't know. Kind of sucks when you know a lot of monster things because anything you do is likely going to be influenced by what you saw, and so you notice that it actually looks like that, or you think about it when you work on it. Yeah, I should have too. Should have voted for him too. And that's a quote, obviously. I think it's from the end of the episode. I think the Simpsons are way too genial for what people make them to be. They were. I don't like the new ones, the new seasons, but the old ones up until about season, I don't know, 10 maybe. There are there are some interesting things later too, but up until that point, they were just so good. That really cracked me up. This one has maybe a bigger. This is not an eye. It's just classic Simpsons is the best. It really is. Oops, sorry. An air conditioner, not good for health. Definitely not good. Now this looks like a squid, like the other squid. Can I ask what is your nationality? I am from Italy. I am actually streaming from Italy now. Previously was in Japan until last October. Now in Italy because I am from Italy. So no, these are too tentacleish, and this is too stiff. wish there was a way to have them multiply between each other. One with the others. Let's see. Did a couple and then iterate through those for another maybe 20 minutes. Maybe 30 minutes. This is still too much to liquefy. I think this one has potential. This one definitely has some sort of potential. It's too symmetrical. You just add some kind of evil face on it. No, this is too cute. Oh, look at how cute it is. You just have to make it a little more thick here. And some beady eyes. Ah, it's so cute. I'm obviously not going to use this. It's like a crouching banana. No. I'm not even liking the shape, honestly. Spiky things. Okay, this could have like, this could be separated. So like jaws. Banana, I always think it reminded me of like an atlas beetle. That's because you're sophisticated. I'm not. Generally, I always think of the stupidest thing something else looks like. Unfortunately. So you're gonna go now. It's nighttime here. Okay, good night. Thanks for joining. Yeah, see you next time. I can put this on the back. But it's still gonna look like some sort of creature. So no. This one out. Okay. A little Demogorgon-ish. These things get a little wider here. The thing is that these are all pretty similar. And did not even look too much like a starfish. We get rid of this one. I think it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move away. It's a little too irregular and boring for me. It's time to choose a few, and it'll last is 15 minutes or so. All right, let me see. So I'm gonna choose 2, 3. Here's these. Yeah. Let's see if I can actually add something to them now to make them look a little better. A little more design-y so that I did not draw another simple starfish together with a simple octopus. I can add spikes, but starfish already had spikes. There could be eyes here. Oh, the eye could be in the middle, like on the bottom. Let's see if I liquefy just a little. Oops. Just a little. Is longer. Just seems to look too similar to itself. And too much like a spaceship at this point. This could be even. Or a shoe. Could be a shoe as well. Let's see this one with the eyes. The eyes. I like the fact that this one is a little more stretched because of the liquefy, so I'm going to keep it. Yeah, this one is a good candidate, honestly. Once I choose the main design, tomorrow I'm going to refine it and start inking it. I don't know if I want to add some spikes in here. It's not very RPG-like. It's gonna be all scaly or something. Maybe scaly. Maybe these are shadow. And because it's going to be seen at a very small size, I want to simplify the detail a little bit. So, like, is there going to be something like that? No. Go back to this one. If I can figure out what it can be, something like that. Something like this. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm. You could still have eyes like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have tons of eyes like that. Oh, I should never do that. If you use the liquify tool on a creature or a drawing, just always make a selection because otherwise it's gonna. It still kind of looks too much like an octopus though at this point. So much a starfish. So for variety's sake, I'm probably going to use this one. No, I cannot do that. I remove another branch out of that. Or maybe I connect them a little more. Something like this. And this could be. This is not bad. I'm gonna just go for this one. These are. These are claws. Claw-like things. It's not bad. It's really not bad. It's got all those eyes. I could get rid of this thing. Once I'm happy with the design, what I usually do is duplicate it multiple times and add variations to see which one I eventually like. Like which one I eventually like consistently. No, it does need something here. Maybe something more like this though. With all those little things like the Mothra monster. Or it could be spikes. No, I think those and maybe some little tentacles here and there. Small tentacles this time, not to be too hentai-ish. Something like that, maybe? No, I like the other. I kind of like the other shape a little more. There's something off about it. Now, you know what? With that thing, it does look like an octopus too much. So I will keep it short. You know what? I think I'm going to go with this one. Let me try to refine it. Yeah, the other is. Next few minutes if we can refine it a little bit. Let's see. I still have to think about the details of this. This could be a claw. Here. So these go in like this. This goes in this a little bit. technically they would go until the end. But if I stop them a little earlier, so those. So this is like this. And if you go a little, so a little bit of volume. Slide it with this part. Did I break it here? No, I'm gonna add this sort of triangular thing. Make it look a little more beefy. Something like that. Obviously, this, once this is refined a little more, it will need to be checked for perspective and all that good stuff. Far away, I might get a little generic. You know what? Let's add this thing too. Might be a little over the top of that, but we'll see if it can actually look decent. Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like this because it breaks up the volume a little bit instead of having it so mushy and soft. But this goes up a little bit. It's got one eye here. It's got the other eye here. Something like that. This will need to be fixed. This is not correct. This is definitely not correct. Do they have space here for this? Yeah. A little too far. This will go this way. This goes this way. This goes this way. And this goes this way. These are little, I don't know, pots. I don't know exactly what this is. Little somethings. Yellow line that goes through the middle. This is a little more simple. Let's see what we did. It's not bad. Not bad. I think I'm gonna go with this. Obviously, fixing it up just a little bit. We'd have something like this at the bottom. Some little teeth, somethings. Zoom out. These need a little rotation. This is not bad. This is not bad. I'm kind of happy with it. Again, this really needs to be a simple monster, so I'm not concerned with too fancy stuff, but I think we can go with this one. For me to use a specific type of line later, because I know I want to separate them. So I'm just clarifying for myself, and it's like taking notes. So I will remember what I want to do today. This one needs to be fixed also because it's not the direction I want. You can add something. Okay, it's starting to look like a little bit like a flying saucer. So I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Fix perspective tomorrow, and then we can probably start inking. Yeah, so tomorrow, I think it's gonna be tomorrow. I'm probably gonna start inking this thing. So finish it up, like making it look like it's something, not just a stupid sketch. And then I am going to ink it. Yeah, let me get rid of the holes. Not quite sold on the holes yet. So it looks like it's actually facing that direction. Yeah, I'll also fix it tomorrow. So. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks everyone for joining the stream, and I am going to see you hopefully tomorrow, if not the day after tomorrow, but I think it's gonna be tomorrow. All right, so you have a good one. Take care.